So HP released a new gaming desktop, the Omen 25L, with a different color and of course upgraded components, and today I'll talk about that and I'll compare it with other Prebuilt PCs that you can buy for the same price, and let's see if it's worth the buy or not for you to compare and see which one is the best deal for you. You will have the links to all of the gaming PCs that I'm about to mention down below in the description, as well with my recommended gaming desktops for every single budget, so if you have a different budget, you have it in the description. And you also have my latest video about the best Prebuilt gaming PCs of the week, which I update every single week, that you can go ahead and watch it in the top right of the screen. So without further ado, let's start with the video. So there are actually two different models for this new 25L, the one that comes with the AMD Ryzen 5 5600G for the processor, and the other one comes with the i5 12400 at $1,400 total, and that is the one that I talk about on this video, because the Ryzen 5 5600G is a decent budget CPU, but the i5 12400 is way better for gaming and also multitasking because it's the non-F version, so it also comes with integrated graphics, which is key for multitasking and video editing. And that's why I'm going to talk about the best model out of these two, which is the one with the i5. Now, if you don't have the budget, you can go with the Ryzen one. It's not going to be bad, but keep in mind that the i5 12400 is a better option. So first, I'll talk about the specifications. If you don't understand anything about it, don't worry, because I'll explain each specification, and at the end I will tell you how this PC is going to perform in different video games for you to have a reference. So for the CPU, like I said before, you get the i5 12400, the latest Intel version. It's actually a great CPU for 1080p gaming and also 1440p gaming if the GPU is capable of 1440p. Here we get the 3060, which is not the greatest for 1440p, but it's not the worst, and that's why I recommend you upgrading it to the 3060 Ti for $50 extra. You just have to click on customize and buy and change the 3060 to the 3060 Ti, and there are some other upgrades that I recommend you doing that are going to be key for this gaming desktop, but in my opinion you should do these upgrades by yourself, and the reason being it's because I think prices for these upgrades are too expensive. For example, if you want to change the RAM, which is what I recommend doing, for 16 gigs of RAM, you end up spending $80 when you can spend $60 and save those $20 by putting it by yourself. This is really easy, believe me. You don't have to be a pro at building computers, and you will have the RAM and the storage down below in the description as well for you to save money. And then another upgrade that I recommend you doing is putting at least 500 gigs of SSD, because it only comes with 256 gigabytes of SSD, which is crazy for the price. And if you want to upgrade it from the HP website, you end up spending at least $70 for 500 gigs of SSD when you can spend around $50 for 500 gigs, and you also add it to the PC, so it's going to be around 750 gigs of SSD just for $50 instead of spending $70 for just 500 gigabytes of SSD. And that's why I recommend you upgrading it by yourself instead of the website, because it's going to be much cheaper and installing it's really easy. Another upgrade that you can make is changing the air cooler for a liquid cooler. Once again, it's much cheaper if you buy it by yourself, because you're getting a 120mm all-in-one liquid cooler for $80 on the HP website, while you can get a 240mm all-in-one liquid cooler for around the same price. So I don't think you should upgrade components from the HP website. Of course, if you don't want to upgrade the components by yourself, you can do it, it's up to you, but I think that you are spending more than you should on a gaming PC for this price. And if you end up buying the components by yourself, just like I recommend doing, you're spending around $170 for 8 gigs of RAM, a 240 all-in-one liquid cooler, and a 500 gig stick of SSD. So you're adding all of these three upgrades for a total of $1,570, and if you decide to do the same exact upgrades on the HP website, you're spending around $1,688 for the same exact upgrade, so you're spending around $100 extra than you should, and you're also getting a 120mm liquid cooler instead of the 240, so the cooling for the CPU will be even worse. If you do the upgrades like I recommend doing, I think the PC is not a terrible deal. I think that the case is not the best for the airflow, and that's something to keep in mind. Of course, if you have the liquid cooler, the CPU temps are going to be just fine, especially because it's the i5 12400, and for 1080p gaming, it's more than capable of running every single game at above 60 FPS, and those esports titles such as Valorant and Fortnite above 240 FPS on the lowest settings, which is what you're aiming for these games. So if you want a 240Hz experience, experience for around 1600 bucks. I think this PC is actually a decent deal and the design is pretty nice as well. But now let's compare it to other Prebuilt PCs on the market to see if it's worth the buy or not. So first we are going to compare it with this Skytech Chronos gaming PC from Amazon. This one has the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X, which is actually similar to the i5 12400 in terms of performance. The i5 it's a little bit better but still similar. Then you get the RTX 3060 just like the Omen 25L, but once again you can upgrade it for 50 bucks and that's what I recommend you doing if you want to do 1440p gaming. If you just want 1080p, the 3060 is going to be just fine. Then you get 1TB of SSD, so you get more storage than the HP Omen even if you upgrade it with my recommended components. Then you get 16 gigs of RAM on dual channel, so it's the same, but here you get a better cooling system overall because you get a front mesh panel. It's also a system integrator and this means that it's better for the future upgradability, so if you want to upgrade it down the line it's better. But it's a really similar deal to the HP Omen 25L for the same price. In terms of performance, I actually think the Omen 25L might have a better gaming performance because of the i5 12400, but really similar for a really similar price. The Skytech Chronos might be a little bit more expensive, so I'll give this one to the 25L, but if you want future upgradability, I think the Skytech wins. But then for the same price on Newegg, you can get another one from Skytech, but this time you get the Blaze gaming desktop. Also has a front mesh panel, so the airflow overall here is going to be better than the 25L. But here is the thing, you get the i7-11700F, which is better than the i5 12400 for both gaming and multitasking. Then you get the RTX 3060 Ti instead of the non-Ti version, so if you want the 25L with the Ti version with my recommended upgrades, it will cost around $1,620, so it's going to be just a little bit more expensive. But here you get 1TB of SSD, so more storage, 16 gigs of RAM just like the 25L, and a 240 all-in-one liquid cooler just like I recommend you upgrading, and it's also a system integrator, so it's better down the line. I think that this deal is actually better than the 25L, especially for future upgradability, because for performance both are really similar, but even then the Skytech it's a little bit better. You get a better cooling system overall, better for upgradability and better for performance right now, and it's even cheaper. So I think this Skytech it's way better, and if you're thinking of buying the Omen 25L, I recommend you this one instead, and you even end up saving some money. But the good thing from the 25L is that you buy directly from HP, but I think that is not a big of a problem. So the 25L is not a terrible deal as some people may think, but I think that for the same price or actually less, you can get a gaming desktop that will perform better now, and it's better for those upgrades down the line. So do I recommend the 25L? If you want to buy from HP and you don't want to buy from websites like Amazon and Newegg, then yes, I don't think it's a bad deal. But do I think it's the best deal? I don't think so. I think the Skytech Blaze it's a better deal, and you will have it in the description as well. So if you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, which I do from 3 to 5 times a week, and I keep you guys updated with the gaming PC deals of the week every single week. So make sure to stay notified to see those deals, because you may actually get a good gaming desktop out of this channel. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section and I will help you out as fast as possible. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.